Yo, what's up guys? It's Oakley. This is going to be episode 2 of my Parthia campaign. So, if you don't remember how we started this whole thing, well, I made good to my allies up here, and I went up north and just got absolutely ambushed with a full stack army here. Absolutely massacred. That destroyed my whole forces to the north. I recruited another army and went to war with these Bactrians here. We had some success, so just to keep you updated, I told these guys to go attack here, so hopefully they're going to be, massing up their forces and going that way. What I'm going to do is sweep around to the east, so I'm going to send the spy over here. These guys are still trying to fortify their defenses here, and all is quiet on the southern front right now. And what you can see right here is an army here, and this is what is sort of having me troubled, is a concentration of forces down here. So what I'm going to do is recruit an agent if possible. So it looks like I'm out. I'm going to have to get more prestige to be able to move forward. So let's go ahead and end the turn and see if we come under attack from any of the local factions. So I've taken the first start and taking a tiny settlement right there. For me, that's good enough after the huge setback I suffered in the very beginning. I'm going to be moving on Maracanda on the right. Although we do have a plague which is causing disease on some forces. Trouble populace. Let's see where this is at. Okay, so this is on my allies' army. That's pretty bad news because it means he probably won't be moving out. And look what we have here. Some wanderers up here, and that's a pretty big army. I'm pretty sure those are the ones that destroyed me up here, at least half the forces, and they might start a raiding operation. So I need something to hold them back in case they do come down here. I think actually having more of these horsemen will be enough to stand up to his forces. I'm going to keep going. 2 turns worth of forces are going to be recruited here in order to hold them off. And there's also a pretty huge Bactrian army here, so what I'm going to have to do is swing these guys. I could go for the province here, but let's go ahead and just take a look, see if it's even worth attacking right now. Looks like it's a pretty big force, and there's another army here, so I'm going to sit tight right now. And I would like to do an ambush, but I'm still not sure which side they're going to be coming from. I think what I'm going to do is hold tight right there and actually see if I can work some magic in here. Let's see if I can actually poison this enemy hero who's making the rounds. I would like my own hero, but let's go ahead and end the turn. There's not much we can do in terms of here. Technology is one away, and let's end it. Not much to do right now besides try and hold off these forces that are moving around. So it seems like I've got a 2-front war happening at the moment, although on the right something's gone down. It looks like I think my allies have been attacked. Either that or it's a new army is taken up. We'll see what happens. Crop rotation, perfect. So this enemy champion has mercilessly assaulted the patrols of your settlement's garrison. Oh my god. Okay, so they're definitely planning some sort of attack here. These guys are going to go reinforce this army here, which means I definitely need to get rid of this guy. Stops the target or assassinates them. Let's try and kill him. Enemy wounded, perfect. Okay, so he's out of action. These guys are going to hold strong, and let's see if we can't get a big... Oh god, I think I'm pretty much out of money here. I think I gotta convert this to my... Don't have enough money. Oh shoot. Okay, well, these guys are coming straight down for me, so what I'm thinking of doing is I could try and set an ambush like they did to me. What I'm thinking of doing is I just need more forces, so let's go ahead and hire some Parthian horse archers for the moment. That should buff me up in case he's gonna decide to attack right away. And these guys right here, the Aryas, are moving forward. Let's see what's happening with the diplomacy. So okay, these guys are fine. They have a big army, and we've got as many of the gears of diplomacy turning. Now I just need the gears of war to start chugging along. These guys are going to be reinforcing over here, which means I'm going to be pretty vulnerable here. They've kind of cordoned me in, so let's see where this army goes. And once I defeat those guys, I'm going to be able to retaliate and attack their city to the north. In terms of advancements, I get plus 4% wealth from all agriculture, yada yada. This allows me to do more trading. I'm going to go for that for now. Definitely want to beef out my economy because I know right now if I'm just a small group. I can't have the greatest military force. I just need the money in order to power forward and make the core of my empire as strong as possible. So let's go ahead and end the turn and hope that these guys don't engage with me right away. I'd much rather be able to deploy these forces in an ambush stance. Oh, yeah, sure. Let's go to war. So it looks like another front has been opened up, and their armies just marauding everywhere. So these guys, my allies up to the north, have sent forces to go take the city, whereas these guys are out in the open. So, looks like we're gonna have a lot of back and forths going. I'm gonna send these guys out, see what's happening here. Looks like they've merged their forces. I'm gonna have him try and he's just gonna keep scouting around, make sure there's no reinforcing armies. Okay, these guys I think went back to their original position, and these guys I really want to go send this army out, but with the nation to the southeast over here declaring war on me, it looks like we're just gonna have problems. Let's see how our economy is holding up. Trade is actually going much better than before. Profits are slim, so I'm definitely gonna have to make a move somewhere. Oh man, yeah, I'm not ending up with much money, so we need to make a move somewhere. The problem is that just where the pieces on the board sit is there are these huge forces coming down south, so I can't move this army here. This army here is kind of hemmed in by these guys. It wouldn't mean much to me if I lose this. I don't want to lose my allies, so I'm going to try and get a neutral position in between both of them. These guys, I'm thinking, actually, screw it. I'm going back in here. And let's try and see what's wrong with them. So they're just really unhappy. Taxes 100%. Current public order -31, -22. So what I think I'm going to do is actually, classic Total War strategy is vacate right there and go on a marauding mission. I think what I'm going to do is actually bring these forces back. I'm fine losing this. It's just too unhappy that I think I'm going to have to come back and stop the construction of that and just let them revolt and then come back and massacre them. So that's typical Total War strategy. I think I'm going to bring these guys back and try and neutralize them. And I'm basically just trying to stabilize the whole situation here. If we have enemies coming into our lands, I have to stick with my ally. He's got actually more forces than I do, and allow his armies to go up north. And it seems like he's moving his forces up north, you can see, towards Kath. Alliance forged. So the guys to the east and the south have formed an alliance. That's going to be troublesome. The champion is back as well. So let's go ahead and see what I'm dealing with down here in terms of the dual alliance that's going on down here. This is very troublesome. I was hoping to find an open city that I could just take advantage of. Doesn't seem like that's going to happen. These are on my team. These guys, two of these guys, I guess they're allies because they're so close and they're not attacking, so they may be doing a dual attack. I'm going to go and help my guys up here take the city out. I think that's what the game plan is going to be. I have like no money. No money left to spare for those guys. Either that or we're out of mercenaries. So let's see. Recruitment, I am going to go for the horse archer build. It seems like it's working for my enemies, so if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. City itself can be upgraded, so we're going to have more farms going down. We have actually some trade routes that are going to be able to be upgraded, so that's going to be going pretty well. These guys have emptied out their province, so I'm not sure what they're doing with their armies. Just going to war with these guys, maybe? Let's go ahead and end it and see where these two guys go. So this is very troublesome. I'm not sure what they're up to. They could be just raiding the province, and as I expected, here they come. I think I'm just gonna let it auto-resolve. Honestly, there's not much point holding up. I knew this was gonna just be destroyed. Let's be protective stance. Inflict as many wounds as possible. Let them kill me. Let them sit in that city, spread themselves out. I'm not really looking to hold that down. You saw the population happiness was just not somewhere I wanted it to be. And so they are welcome to go and take over that city. I should have actually just looted it, raised it, and moved on after earlier on, but I guess I just didn't understand the the full spite that these people have towards Parthia. So Parthia, I'm definitely going to have more forces everywhere. And it looks like there's actually another army moving off in the corner of this map. I'm not sure who that is. It could be actually some allies who've sent forces. Enemy wounded. Armed escort has been achieved. Garrison army has been destroyed. Plague is good. So my allies are coming in here, which means I am actually happy. So my allies are going to be moving in here, and seeing as how they have a lot of guys, I'm actually going to come back, and I think I'm going to reinforce this, allow my allies to bring the fight to them, and yeah, we're going to hold still. If I could reach those guys, that would be great, because they would be in forced march mode. Anyways, these guys are going to be defending the provinces. This is definitely the group that hit me and took me out last time, so these guys are suffering from attrition. Lots of problems here. So let's go ahead and try and help with the logistics. I hope that'll improve my military. Otherwise here, not enough to upgrade it. The farms are going to start kicking in, so that should be good. And my spy down here is going to keep infiltrating the enemy backlines, see what's going on, try and notify me if there's any places that I want to go attack. Anything that's too vulnerable at the moment. Otherwise, this is where it's going to go down this next turn, I guarantee it. So let's go ahead and fight the good fight and see if these guys end up being as ballsy as they were before. I'm really worried. I only have these allies, and if I let them fail, then all goes to hell. So control a large army. Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's go ahead and do this. It does seem like they have a good amount of reinforcements, but these are all cheap spear guys, and if I can, yep, looks like he's got no cavalry, so with my cavalry heavy force, this should be actually a very, very fun battle. So this is going to be retribution for everything that's been going wrong with me, and hopefully I can use my ally as cannon fodder, which should be pretty good. They're known as the drifters apparently, so I'm going to let them just mosey on over, soak up his main line, and I'm just going to deal death with all these archers. There's basically nothing he can do to counter that. So let's go ahead and get this battle started. And it looks like since my ally is going to be deploying first, I'm going to be coming out of the side here. They're going to be facing off, which gives me a good flanking angle. Actually, I'm pretty happy about that. And let's just see what's going to go on here. Enemy reinforcements are approaching. Good, good, good. And I would be happy to know where my forces are coming from. Perfect. So it looks like I've actually deployed right behind his forces, which is really awesome. That's perfect. I thought this was the enemy forces coming out here, so I've deployed exactly in the last position they wanted me to be in. So let's go ahead and form up with the main battle line here. Oh shit, so we got reinforcements next to reinforcements. I'm actually going to form these guys up in a big front, and what I'm thinking of doing is just contending at least with those guys over there. And I'm going to make a front with hopefully these guys hold off the enemy here and just swoop in with all my archers and just tear him to pieces. These are basically just light horses, so if I can get enough arrows raining in on them, we should be actually in a perfect condition to do that. So let's do that right now. Send some of these guys on the wing and keep my general and these guys kind of hidden here in reserve. Slingers are actually going to be moving up here, try and cut off any reinforcement, and actually these skirmishers are pretty crap, so I'm going to probably send them in and bait these guys in. Let's go ahead and take this off, These guys are going to come in for a pretty sick attack right now. Slingers need to line up actually in the brush right there. Spear support in the back. Tell these guys to come over here. These guys are going to go ahead and engage with them, and then tell these guys to hold fire until we're very, very close actually. And hopefully we should be able to inflict a good amount of damage with these flaming javelins. So even though it's not killing people in the first hit, it just means that they've taken damage and they haven't died, so that's fine. Gonna go ahead and chase those guys down and have them hold fire here. I don't want to waste all my ammo, so I'm going to chase him right into my ally. These slingers can go ahead and do what they want, that's fine. I'll run them down later. The main point of this run is actually just to knock these guys out. So let's do a little screening maneuver. Bring these guys up here. Those guys are getting shot at, that's fine. These guys are coming up. So cataphracts want to engage there, that's fine. I'm thinking I'm going to move these guys back. And I'm going to try and keep engaging with those guys. Get those guys to shoot as horse archers. Get these guys to come and reinforce here. Start firing at will. Get these guys to line up here. And I think we should be alright actually. It's a little hard to see what's going on right now, but these blobs should sort themselves out. I'm just going to keep shooting these guys. Yeah, his horse archers are totally done. Precision shot on. As long as I can amass my forces like that, we should be good. These guys are going to keep falling back. That's just going to be the name of the game now. It's just going to be to keep falling back. And anytime I can get this concentration of forces, we're going to be good. Tell one of these guys, chase after his slingers. And I'm actually surprised these guys are alive. So let's go ahead and move these guys back and try and ward off this attack. I'm just going to basically do a whole Bactrian tactic right here, which is going to be to keep retreating and harassing with my archers. That's good. These guys need to be swinging over here. Now that I've taken out his cav, we should be actually in a pretty good position. Pull out here. We should be, what I was trying to say, in a good position to start picking apart his forces. These guys can get the shots off right there. These guys are going to retreat. And what you can see right here is basically me going to be microing these forces back. Let's go ahead and actually tell them to get on skirmish mode. That way I don't have to micro them anymore. And then let's just keep pulling these guys back. And with these guys, let's go and see how much damage we can inflict on his forces. Get some slingers taken out there. And basically that should be good. These guys are just going to keep falling back to the corner. These guys are going to keep picking off his forces. These guys are going to attack. They're going to pull out to the back here. These guys are going to keep attacking here. They're going to attack here. Light horses over there. I'm going to try and take out his royal cataphracts wherever possible. You can see here, I think as long as I play to Parthia's strengths, which is obviously going to be her horse archers, we're just going to be set. We're going to be golden. I can take care of these infantry all day, every day. Basically, if I just have my guys run around, retreat, and let the archers do the dirty work. And take out his heavy lancers. So let's keep moving these guys back. These guys are going to keep retreating. Let's see if I can get some of these guys to shoot over here. Pull these guys out. And who are we fighting over here? Pull these guys back here. And yep, still going to be playing chicken over here. And it's pretty crazy just how many guys he's going to end up losing. You'll see at the end of the battle. I know this because I had the same thing happen to me essentially. As you saw in that one ambush battle, it was really bloody. So let's go ahead and pull my general back. That's the last guy I want to be losing right now. This guy can keep playing his little games. Tell him to be on retreat mode. Tell these guys to come back. He can shoot here. He can take on the slingers. These guys can go here. These guys can go back here. The slingers are actually destroying me right now. I should not have left those guys alone. But I'm going to slip these guys through and take on his slingers. My general really needs to disengage. These guys need to come to the back. He's finished them off. Let's go ahead and retreat here. So my guys are all tied up here. Let's pull these guys through. Pull these guys back. And and tell these guys to just keep shooting here. Tell these guys to retreat back. So this is just going to be how I defeat these large armies. I don't want to engage with this pikeman here. I'm definitely going to want to keep engaging there. These guys are going to engage here. Pull out, pull out, pull out. Yeah, these slingers, apparently in patch 4, they just kick ass. So these guys are going to keep retreating. Definitely need to keep retreating there. Although I can send my general, I think. Actually, I'm going to keep Parthian shotting them. And we'll be fine. Charge the back of his horsemen. Come to the rescue of my guys here. And that should be good. I'm a little surprised that my ally is back there doing nothing. But this should be actually a relatively good victory for me. I'm happy here. These guys are pouring on basically the lead bullets. Making these guys suffer. If I can charge in the back, I'll be happy enough. And looks like we were able to destroy whatever units he had here, so let's go ahead and retreat, or attack again moving forward. Knock these guys out. And slingers are going to have to do a tactical retreat because I'm starting to actually run low on a lot of my missiles, so that's going to be basically my downfall, is all these units here. Actually, I don't have enough ammo to knock them all out, so I'm going to have to use my slingers to strategically take everyone out. And it's going to be just a whittling game. If I can get them low enough and follow up with a quick cavalry strike, that should be good enough for me. Run these guys back. I don't want to lose needlessly to slingers or javelin men until I'm ready. And I'm actually going to have my forces fall back to my ally, and hopefully he can take the rest of the brunt of the battle. The main thing that kind of bothers me here is actually that my ally is engaged in the siege, so what might end up happening is that he gets the credit for this and he takes the settlement. Not that I'm too worried about that, but it would be pretty bad turn of events considering the loss of life that I've suffered here, and the fact that I've had to do most of the cleaning up and the mopping up. But anyways, we're doing a very good job here. I finally gotten to the point where I know victory is secured, and it's just going to be a matter of... What are you doing? It's just going to be a matter of cleaning up, basically. That's perfect. Yes, come over here. Come to Papa. I don't know why my cataphracts decided to just charge back here. They might have been grouped into another formation. But let's go ahead and bring these guys up. And if I can shoot into the back of his pikes, that'll be perfect. There we go. He's going to be led right into my army. Javelin men are too confident. Actually, these guys are not quick enough. But we're going to have a heyday just destroying these guys. It looks like all our forces are lined up. Step archers are going to be engaged. Once the AI, I think, sees that this battle is going on, I think they're just going to go and chase everyone. So let's go ahead and destroy these guys. And I'm just going to follow these guys in case they decide to turn around and I need to distract them. So you'll see here, they don't start taking too much damage at first, but keep in mind that everyone's taking health points. They might not die right away, but given a couple more volleys, they're going to start dropping because their health is just so low. So let's start moving these guys up and essentially be like a group of scavengers, just trailing this army, waiting for them to bleed out in the desert, and just pick their bones clean is going to be my strategy. Precision shots. And these guys are just going to be dropping like flies now, because their backs are exposed, because they're probably tired, because of the fact that I've done so much health hit point damage. You see that now all the ranks are starting to fall, and that's why early on you see maybe a couple men, then it's clump, 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 and it just keeps getting worse and worse for them. And especially you want to be close when you're dealing death with these guys. Even if you can hit them from further away, it's just going to be less damage that you're able to do. So whenever possible, especially in these scenarios where you don't have much ammo left, make sure you're as close as possible. And it looks like this is going to be where we have the deciding factor. Now I don't want his slingers to be doing too much damage to me, so I'm going to move to the side, let my ally actually take the brunt of whatever's coming here. And hopefully he doesn't run straight into these guys. But from what I've seen fighting against the AI before, I think these guys are all going to be on skirmish mode and they'll automatically retreat, so we should be good. I just need to come and pick off the rest of his forces, trail him, and wait for the opportunity to strike. And it looks like he's actually going to have a lot of these levy pikemen moving forward. That just means that they're going to be slower. As long as we can take out these guys, we are fine. Let's go ahead and take out the slingers here. Run these guys up. Run these guys up. And there we go. Some of my guys are out of ammo, so that's why they're charging. That's fine. As long as they're running backwards, they're still gonna have the Parthian shot. Let's pull these guys out. And this battle has actually been relatively not tough fought, but it definitely takes a lot of movement. You know, we fought over here, dragged it back over here, now we're going to finish them off here, and I think that's going to be how most of these engagements are going to be on the Eastern Front. And historically, of course, this is how a lot of these battles went on. They would have probably lasted a couple days or weeks as the Roman forces and other forces would trudge through this territory, and they would just be shadowed by these groups of Easterners. Now, the Parthians weren't as capable as the Sassanids, but what they both did is they would actually have a lot of horse archers. Most of their body would be consisting of horse archers, and what they would do is they would actually have caravans following them, and the caravans would be filled with camels who would be holding tons and tons of baskets of arrows. So what you would actually see is, even though, you know, say this whole body might run out of arrows, they would just retreat, go get some more from the camels, and come straight back. And in that way they would just chip away at the morale, at the stamina of the forces of whoever was coming through their land. Now, if it was to be a horse archer against horse archer battle, then it would obviously be two similar factions fighting in similar styles, and they would trade shots, they would do a lot of raiding. These are often nomadic tribes, and they would you know, they would go in after each other's herds and stuff like that, especially more to the north. The Massagetæ, that's actually going to be what they're mostly is going to be these traveling tribesmen, and I know CA has said that's going to be part of upcoming DLC, so I'm kind of excited to see those factions come into play, see how they turn out, because it's definitely an interesting play style, but it's one where you can see it can be pretty stretching on your micro. And you can see here, even though I thought we had the advantage, I'm running out of all my missiles. I don't have that archer supply train, and so I can't really chase down all his men and put on continuous fire, especially when, wow. But yeah, you can see here I'm gonna have to rely on my ally who has the brunt of the ammo left, and I'm gonna be stuck here basically trying to finish off whatever men are around here. These spearmen are wavering, and I'm hoping I can just take them out and will his forces down. I'm kind of left to stare at his men right here, and I'm going to move my cataphracts, and these are my heavy guys, of course, so as long as they're well rested, they're going to be delivering the knockout blows on some of these guys. So I'm going to charge from the back, and my ally seems like he's stabilized the situation, and he's just going to be picking off forces left and right. So bloody battle, and it just goes to show that I am not ready to push forward. I barely took out one of these armies, and considering there's a couple more of these sitting around the battle map, I'm definitely going to need a lot more, and I think I'm going to have to build up my my military base, of course, and also my economy. But even charging those pikes from the back saw me lose a good amount of men, so this general is going to have to pull back, and I don't think he can sustain another one of those strikes, but that's fine. It looks like these guys are pretty much down and out, so let's go ahead and charge in on those guys, move these guys in, and let's finish the fight here. The AI here is actually doing the only sensible thing, which is going to be to consolidate his forces and try and retreat. Chasing down the horse archers is just not going to be an option here. Let's go ahead and take out the wavering forces, any troops that I can, and try and cause a contagious panic amongst his men. Right now I'm going to pull back and just let him do his dirty work, and it's kind of cool because I've usually been on the receiving end of this type of battle where I'm this guy, and it's kind of nice to take the reins of power on the other end where you are the guy delivering this constant harassment. And even from a historical perspective, like I always like to say, I'm a huge follower of Roman history, and you always hear about the Romans somehow trying to deal with these types of factions and how the Romans tried to react to them, but it's cool actually to take the reins of power from the other side, a side of history actually that you don't hear from too often. So I'm just glad to be able to have this, and I hope you guys can enjoy. The gameplay is going to be a little different than usual. This would have been, you know, the more traditional build that I would have gone if I were playing maybe the Macedonians or the Spartans or somewhere in the west, the Hellenistic factions. I would just be marching my pikes out into the west, but you can just see here how that's not quite going to fly in the face of these nomadic warriors. And so I'm going to leave those guys alone, and I think these guys have been caught out of pike formation, caught out in the open, and the second they turn their backs, that's when I'm going to strike. So let's go ahead and get a full surround on these guys and let my ally keep putting on the pressure there. Move my spearmen up, and okay, these guys are done. Let's finish them off. Oh no, I'm not letting them run at all. Let's finish these guys off. Actually move these guys back so they don't get trampled, and I'm just going to finish these guys off and get as much of the glory as I can, trampling these guys down. Yeah, I need the experience. I can't have these guys running around on the battlefield, so I'm going to let my ally finish them off, and yeah, we should be ready to go back to the campaign map. We've delayed the invasion, and now I think we should be able to muster up our forces, take back the city, and if possible, I'm going to be pretty much dealing death to that populace, and I think what I'm going to do is just go for the loot and hire a bunch of mercenaries and just keep this steamroll going. So that's going to be it for this battle right here. Let's go ahead and call it. And yeah, we delivered a pretty heavy blow. I lost 1,000 of my guys, so half my forces, but I was able to kill 2,600, so it's pretty heavy trade-offs. We were against 4,000 enemy troops, so I think we did deliver a significant blow. So I hope you enjoyed this, guys. I'm going to end the second episode right here as we're starting to reclaim territory. This is going to be a back and forth fight out here in the desert, and I'm hoping once we can stabilize this front and I can get sort of critical mass with enough armies roaming around, we're really going to be able to deal death. So I'm going to kill my captives. This is how we do it now, and sadly enough, it looks like one of my guys died, and it's actually one of the first times I've seen an actual cutscene, so I'm pretty happy to see that, although sadly it is going to be for one of my generals who was able to inflict one of the first major victories for my my empire. So I'm going to basically lend a hand to the demise of all these factions around me, whether it's by my ally or myself, and if it takes a general's death to do it, then I'm willing to sacrifice that general. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. I will see you guys next time, and let's run out the remainder of this turn, and then we'll leave it there and pick up afterwards. Again, as always, I hope you enjoyed, and if you want to see any specific strategies, battles, or if you think I should go a different route or do different recruitment strategies, whatever, let me know, and I'll try and implement that in my next play. Okay, cool, so I'm going to end it here. I'm going to do this battle actually in the next video, so I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much.